Hey, hey, this is kind of a different Kadic reviews. Why? Because there's two of us. I'm not doing it alone.
Yeah, hi.
I brought the doctor with me.
And as
Why?
soon as I'm here, professionalism goes out the window and we just go straight up into it.
Why? Because we're going up into that wasteland. And no, we're not talking Borderlands,
Or
but we
Fallout.
we're talking about the original wasteland, Mad Max.
Specifically,
Fury
we are
Fury
going into Fury Road,
Road
as you can tell.
Fury Road may be, and I will say this personally, the best movie with cars ever made.
To
Because
add
it's
on to that, I'm going to say that it's one of the best movies I've ever seen in my life. Now, granted, I've only been around for 19 years. You might as well take that with a grain of salt, considering that.
yes.
But either way, I still think it's one of the best movies I've seen in my life.
Well, for anybody who is unfamiliar with Mad Max, here is the background for it. Mad Max started out as a series in the 1970s,
Yes, 1979 was the first release of Mad Max.
with a then young and not crazy
Mel
Mel
Gibson.
Gibson playing the testicular role. Now, a little bit of information, this movie was shot again in the Australian outback with Australian actors primarily as the extras to keep the cost down. Now, Mad Max, all four of them have been directed by one man, George Miller. Now, the last one was a direct-to-movie sequel that did direct-to-video sequel that did quite okay. But George
Critically, it
Miller,
was still received ridiculously well.
yes. But this one, if you've been reading the reports, everyone, has been received with nothing but aplomb. And there is a reason for it.
Listen
It,
here. When even the Tumblr feminists can't attack it, you know you done good.
yes, and there is a lot of social commentary in this movie underplayed. Everything from environmentalism to, yes, even the F word, and we're not talking fuck.
Let me take a moment and say that I say Tumblr feminists. I mean the ones that are all like, men are evil, kill all men. I'm not saying, actual feminists. You're cool. Not your insane
Mm.
feral counterparts.
Now, here's the part where we throw up the spoiler flag. So if you have not seen this movie yet,
Do not
beware.
watch this. I do not give a shit who you think you are. You do not want to watch this review until you've seen the movie. Because
Uh,
this movie is fucking amazing.
Especially see it in the
Oh
theaters
my god,
while
yes.
you still can.
Oh, I think it's going to be there all summer. So you've got plenty of time.
I mean, I still have my ticket on my table that I paid $7 for because I got it on a cheap Tuesday matinee.
See, I ended up getting stuck at the 9:50 p.m. 3D showing.
Uh, which that movie in 3D must be a
Yes,
trip.
that is something that I can say since that's something that I can kind of expand on since you didn't see it in 3D. The 3D in this movie was very well done. There were points where I flinched and I blinked, and that doesn't usually happen to me with 3D movies. But to be fair, I had been up for close to 24 hours at that point.
Right.
So,
Well, let's get to Pacifics. This movie stars Tom Hardy as Max, and it wastes no time, and I mean none. There is a chase scene with this character right from jump. And obviously, he's been having mental problems with some deaths in his family
his
or
wife and his
friends.
son.
Yeah, that have been haunting him lately. Well, he's running from the bandits, and these are not Borderlands style bandits, meaning they're dumb shits. These are actual bandits that can do something.
Though he would take their construction style and look at it and be like, gee, did they take that from Borderlands? No, dumb shit. Borderlands took this from them.
And he gets branded. Well, then we see the Citadel, which the Citadel is this big place carved into a canyon. And we are instantly introduced to Immortan Joe, who is the villain in this movie. My God, his getup. His getup is like a rock album cover come to life mixed with some kind of Spartan armor breathing apparatus thing. I mean, he looks gnarly.
Not to mention that he has multiple women just for one he has multiple women just for pumping milk out of their breasts. One of them I'm pretty sure had more than two breasts. Not to
Yes, and
mention that he's obviously inbred a bit. I'm pretty sure that one disfigured thing, the little one, I'm pretty sure that was one of his sons. He had
yeah,
a rather regular son, but then he also was had 6 wives for breeding.
uh, doctor, that stuff made me uncomfortable. Uh, 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 as as a person with 10 of
I thought
them,
he had 12 now. Where the fuck did I get
or
that?
12
You
of
do
them
have
now,
Oh shit.
11 actually, 11, about maybe 12 in the future.
Oh my,
That,
maybe in the future.
that, that, that makes me uncomfortable to see that stuff. And he's got an army known as the War Boys, and the War Boys are instantly likable. It's strange. You end up rooting for these little Seamus-looking pasty things running around in their death cars. One in particular by the name of Nix.
That's Nux. It's Nux. It was Nux.
Yes, Nux, played by Nicholas Hoyt. And and you see, they're on a mission to get to Gas Town. Yes, there are many towns in this apocalyptic
Well,
world.
Gastown is just one stop. They really want to get to the green place.
Yes, and here's the thing. That's where Charlize Theron's character comes in. Furiosa. My God. Is there a stronger female character? Because I don't think there is one.
I don't
This
think there
char-
is.
this character comes up tough, confident, mean. It's everything that a strong female character should be. It is a beautifully written and even more beautifully acted character. Now, she decides to take a detour from
Yeah,
her.
well, to start, she's one of Immortan Joe's imperators.
Yeah,
Basically, she's designated to drive the war rig and make deliveries. So she and her pack of war boys, she, unknowingly to them, takes them off their normal route to start to get to the green place. However, Immortan Joe and his wacko family are quick to catch on, and
yes,
so every single, well, not every single, but most of him and the war boys all get together in pursuit. Not to mention two other gangs that are working
yeah.
with him.
And, oh, by the way, if you're wondering where Max is in this movie, for the first half of it, he's strapped to the hood of Nux's
Yes, I
car.
wouldn't say first half of it, but maybe the first quarter of it. Well, they take him to take his blood for the, first, like, eighth of the movie, maybe. Then the other rest of it, Nux is like, well, I want to drive, I want to do shit. That's a very brief summary, but basically he's
Yeah.
like, oh, no, you can't fight, you're too young, or whatever he says, and then he proves him wrong by punching him in the face, his brother. So then he's
Yeah.
like, alright, you're ready. So he takes his wheel, and he straps Max to the front of his fucking car, and off they go.
Yes. And what follows is maybe one of the greatest individual chase scenes I have ever seen through a sandstorm. And this sandstorm scene, this battle on wheels through this sandstorm has to be seen to be
Yeah,
believed.
no, it's...
I I mean the cinematography is insane in this movie. And this is one of the earliest and best examples of it.
Well, I can even
I
go back to the very beginning, where they used a, technique where they just filmed the same thing over and over again to make it look like there's more people. When all the war boys were chasing him at the very beginning, that was all the same person. That was just redone over and over again with the camera in the same
yeah,
spot.
just played at just the camera work, the directing is played absolutely perfectly in this movie. And this movie gives you no filler. It gives you no BS. It does not waste time. It gives you the critical stuff right away that you need. And the big part about Furiosa's cargo is, what is it, four different women?
Six.
Six different women, aka Morton's breeders, one of which that is pregnant at the time, and naturally, Morton's not too happy, and especially, we also see this vault with, it looks like his wife, who is totally against what a Morton is doing.
Yeah,
And just
she
so
isn't having any of it.
And just so you know, a Morton has control of all this world's water, it seems like, as well. Well, when Max finally gets off the hood of this car, he still doesn't talk for a large part of this movie. I mean, it's sign language, it's waving guns around, it's grunting. But it's not like there isn't any action in this movie because it's all over the place. Cars getting blown up, things getting shot, by the way, all this stuff was done with practical effects.
Yeah.
All of it. They built this stuff. They made it practical. Yes, there are green screen stuff, but it's
There's green screens and
mostly,
there's a little bit of enhancement on some of the stuff, but most of it was actually built and used.
yeah, and not, and we would be remiss without talking about electric guitar
Oh
flamethrower
my god.
guy.
First of all, let me just say this. He didn't give a shit, dude. He could have killed Max right there. And he's just like, nah, man, I just want to play my fucking guitar. He didn't give a
Yeah.
shit. He just wanted to play his fucking guitar. When I saw that, I turned to the friend I went to see with and I said, that's me. That's fucking me right there.
it, it, uh, and I'm sorry, but that might be the greatest singular weapon I have ever seen.
Yes!
An electric guitar flamethrower. And this guy was the provider of most of the music in the
Yeah,
movie.
no, that's the best part, is that him and all of the fucking, the drummers were literally the soundtrack to this movie.
I mean, if there isn't stuff getting blown up, flaming harpoons, people trying
Which,
to jump
that's
from,
another thing, is that they were literally using the sticks that you put the grenades on for the RPG. They were literally throwing them. They were throwing grenades on a stick.
yeah, it's it's like if something wasn't blowing up or in the process of blowing up, or people getting beat up, people getting shot, people jumping from car to car. I mean, just amazing stunt work. Incredible stunt work. And the very few times where the movie actually slowed down, if you could call it that, for dialogue, it was used well. Very well. But ultimately, they do get to the other mothers, which are part of Furiosa's original clan. And they realize there's nothing there. The
Only
place,
because the green place, the water got, to be dirty and poisoned because of all the shit in the ground and whatnot.
yeah. So then they decide, well, shit, we can't go forward, so it looks like we're gonna have to go back through this minefield.
Yeah, they literally just drive right back to the Citadel.
And it leads to the second big chase in this
Oh,
movie.
by the way, to mention, we completely missed something. The wife that was pregnant does get taken. She ends up dying, which fucks with Max's head even further.
Yeah. She ends up roadkill at the end of a Morton Joe's
Well,
vehicle.
no,
She
she
gets,
she lived, but then when he went to take the kid out because she wouldn't have survived, the kid was like not successfully born by C-section,
yeah,
obviously, because he wasn't properly operating. But that being
yeah,
said, and to make matters worse, the guy not only says that it was a healthy kid, but he goes, "You had a brother. It was perfect. It was healthy in every way." And the guy gets all pissed off and literally just repeats it at the top of the
yeah.
car.
Uh, which shows this world and the importance of women in it, which starts the whole controversy of this movie. The, the fact that the women are strong and the women almost take charge in this thing. I, I mean, Max is just there as a sideshow. It's really Furiosa's movie
Yeah.
throughout this entire thing. Max is just there. Well, at the end of the day, a Morton Joe gets his.
He gets his face literally ripped off.
Yeah. And obviously, Furiosa is now the leader of the Citadel. It looks like. And it looks like a relatively happy ending with Max, of course, parting ways, the parts unknown. But most importantly, there's a very good quote at the end of this movie, and I could not remember the exact quote at the end of this movie, but
But it
it's
is a
a,
quote technically by Max. The first History Man is one of his nicknames.
yeah. And I mean, this movie, my God, I have not seen a movie in a theater in 3 years. This is why, because most movies aren't made like this. Perfect directing, perfect writing, perfect cinematography, and doesn't let up. You do not want to leave the theater at all in this movie.
No, never.
Because even if you get a little bit of dialogue, it's followed by another chase. I mean, I watched this movie with my mother, who doesn't watch these kinds of movies, by the way. And it maintained her attention. Now, I know if a movie maintains her attention, it's a winner. And this movie is a winner in every way. And the fact that there are two more prequel movies already signed up
Well, we
for,
don't know for a fact if they're prequels or not. That hasn't been officially confirmed.
I can I can just imagine what the follow-up to this movie
I
will
feel like they'll do
have
a
to
prequel,
be.
but I don't know if it'll both be prequels. We know that there's going to be one called Mad Max: The Wasteland.
Yes.
And I feel like that one could be a sequel. But then
And
again, maybe not, because we only
yeah,
see his original special cruiser at the very beginning of the movie, and it gets
which,
wrecked. So I think we're
which
going to see
but
more of him in that cruiser.
which by the way, that is foreshadowing to the video game that is coming out September 1st. Because the car that your character drives in the Mad Max video game is that same car. You actually drive that car. That is your default ride at the beginning of Mad Max Savage Road, which is the name of the video game. But I don't think we have to hold off any of the sequelly. This is a first in Kadic Review's history. Because this movie is the first movie to get a 10 across the board. This is a must see. And when I say must see, I mean spend your 7 to 20 bucks.
If you're spending $20 to go to the theater, I think you need to find somewhere else to go. I mean, I spent
Yes, but
13.50 and I saw it in 3D. So if I could, spend only that much, I'm sure you could spend
yes,
less.
but spend that money, go to a theater, see it now. It is maybe the best 2 hours and 10 minutes or so you'll ever get in a movie theater nowadays. I mean, I cannot, even for people that have never watched the previous Mad Maxes before, you don't have to go in knowing that stuff.
Yeah, no, I'd only seen the first one before. So, that's... oh,
I
God.
I mean, it's very obvious that Tyler too gives it a 10.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't
No doubt.
it, it, for our first collab review of anything, this certainly deserved it. And as Nux said, oh what a lovely day. And it is indeed a lovely day if more movies like this arrive. So, until the next Kadic reviews, which will be Shovel Knight, I'm just telling you, I'm having a blast playing it. I can't wait to tell you what I think of it. But until then, I am Nirvana Sparkle, and I do not treat my wives as a breeder. And now I understand the value of breast milk. So, hail breast milk. Hail all of the breast
Oh my
milk.
fucking god.
Until next time, find peace in your own nirvana, and thanks for watching.
Wear a condom when you're not trying to get pregnant.
And that's it.